Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High Power Hashem for allowing us to see another day. I want y'all to bear with me in this video. It might be a little bit longer than usual. My video don't usually go more than 10 minutes, but I have a couple of topics I want to discuss. So please bear with me as I speak, because I am from the West Indies and I do have a tendency to struggle for words, trying to find this dumbass dramatic language or these words to present to y'all. I told y'all before, I usually try to choose the words that I speak carefully, because a lot of the language that we speak in the so-called English language is actually spell words. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, for many of y'all might not be aware, but now New York have declared quarantine checkpoints. Quarantine checkpoints, family. I kid you not. So what they're saying now is that if you are coming from another state that basically is a hot spot for COVID, when you enter in the city, they're going to have checkpoint, I guess, pulling you over. I don't know how they're going to enforce it, because, you know, it's kind of, for me, it's weird, because, I mean, okay, let's say you're coming in from another city, or another state actually, and you know, that's a hot spot. What are they going to do? They're going to apprehend you. They're going to take you into custody, take your car away from. How are they going to do it? And it kind of brings me back to the videos that I've made in the past, where I told y'all that soon enough we're going into martial law lockdown. We're already in the first phase or second phase of it. Y'all just don't see it, because what they do, they gradually introduce certain things, so you know, you just get accustomed to it. You know what I'm saying? You get what's that word? Anyway, you just gradually go into it, so it's not like obvious what they're doing. Just like with the so-called masks, everybody, you know, eventually have to start wearing masks when you go into, let's say, a business. Now they're gonna mandate it where you have to start wearing masks when you're outside and shit. Now even in your own home, right? So there's a lot of things that's happening, family, but because, again, many of us, not all, many of us are still distracted, going along to get along, you know what I'm saying? You're not really seeing the writing on the wall. So I was thinking about, like, wow, that's crazy, because, like, I have family members in New York City, and I live in Maryland, and I'm like, okay, you know, for right now, Maryland is doing pretty good with this plague and shit. I call it the plague, like Trump, you know, it is a plague, and most sides point out his judgment on these heathens for what they have done to his people, his planet. Speaking about planet, family, did you know that this planet is actually a living organism? Did you know that? Y'all never considered it, did you? These trees that we are breathing in oxygen from, right? They're like the air, not the air, but the hair, Hair, on your head. This is what they are. This is a living, breathing organism. It literally is, because it brings forth life. It's just like us, right? Sometimes, well, not us, but them, when they have, let's say, bugs on their body, right? Fleas and shit, or lice. They call it lice. It's fucking fleas to me. They have lice in their head, and they're transporting these bugs that they have in their hair, you know what I'm saying, around. It's the same thing with this planet. This is the Most High creation. You know, you ever heard of what they say, Mother Earth? This is the Most High creation. This is his life force that he created for us to live on, right? To survive off of. And instead of us utilizing it and trying to preserve it, they are literally destroying it. These creatures, man, they are that's bent on destroying things. It's like everything that they put their hands on become, you know, just be destroyed and shit. So I was just like, damn, you know, like, man, I mean, I'm so glad we as a people, black folks that is, you know, we do sometimes go around and we destroy things too, but I don't think it's in our nature. I think it's a taught behavior. We see them do it, we're like, okay, we could do it too. You know how some people like to follow and shit? Because I'm a leader. That's why I call myself trendsetter with a Y-A-H, right? Because I set the trend. I don't let nobody set the trend for me. I don't like to follow people. I never like to follow people. I remember when I used to go to the club, and I used to see, we used to have like this dance crew. You go to the club and shit, and you know how to dance. 'Cause I used to know how to dance. I still do. Actually, I'll be dancing sometime at home. I like to dance. I'm talking about reggae. And you have the new dance come out, and I'll go in the mirror and shit, and I learn it, and I go back, and when I go back on the dance floor, I'm tweeting it. I don't do the same dance. I put a little extra to it. You know what I'm saying? I do a little bit extra with the dance, and everybody starts to follow my lead, and I set the trend. And that's the thing with black people. We like to follow. We follow too much. They out there protesting, wrecking shit. You want to go out there protesting, wrecking shit, knowing that's not our MO. We don't go out there and tear up shit. We protest, and that's probably why a lot of time when we protest in vain, because we don't go out there destroying properties and burning down shit. You know what I'm saying? Throwing rocks at police. We don't do that because we got more common sense. See, we have never taken that that IQ test and shit. So right off the brink, we just know we are smart. But they take the IQ test. Some of them pass it, some of them don't. And I don't understand why you need a motherfucking test to prove that you're intelligent and shit. But they do for some reason. But it goes back to what I was saying. So yeah, these devils, man, since they came out of the cave, the crevices, they have literally reap mayhem, destruction on this planet. I mean, you look around, all the trees, they tear it down to make roads and buildings. And I was looking at New York City. When I went to New York City, the last time I went to New York City, I was driving in, I was on a bridge, and I'm looking at the city from afar. I think I was on the other side of Hudson, and I saw this concrete jungle. And the first thought came to me is like, this is what they like. They like structures built from rocks because they came from the caves. Yes, white people, y'all came from the cave, Georgia, Russia, the fucking Caucasus Mountain. That's where y'all from originally. So that's why y'all don't really respect nature. Now, some of y'all do, not all, but some of y'all do respect nature, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, y'all don't care. As long as y'all can make a profit, as long as y'all able to serve y'all God, that in God we trust on the back of a dollar bill, because that's y'all God. But back to what I was saying. So they are literally posting quarantine checkpoint, that's what they call it, in certain areas in New York City. If you come off the airplane and shit, and you coming from a state that's, like I said, that's have a lot of infection or whatever, you're gonna be quarantined. So the question is this: now, do y'all believe me that we're under martial law, or y'all still not convinced? Well, y'all be convinced soon enough. All right, because at the end of the year, I said the end of the summer, I still think we're already in martial law, but I believe by the end of the year you will see what I've been talking about for the last couple of months. You will definitely see what I've been talking about for the last couple of months. What's all these fucking cars like crashing and shit? What the hell? Go check this shit. See if this person, alright, hold on, family. Live action. See this car on the side of the road, people just driving by and shit. Hold on. Let's see if this person is alright. It's crazy. Oh, I guess the crash is over with. Where's the person at? It's crazy. It's about to be some more accident and shit. Family, I don't know where to go from here with this video. You saw that shit? That black car, right? Behind the fire truck almost ran into the fire truck because this dude just decided to stop in the middle of the fucking highway. This is crazy, but I don't see nobody in that car, so I don't know what's going on. I just pulled over to check, but ain't nobody in there.
Nobody's around?
No.
Okay, all right, we're going to go down to the one they dispatched us to.
Oh, it's another one?
Yep,
Oh,
we're going to check that out.
okay. Damn. What the fuck is going on? Family, I think I'm going to keep my camera on. There's some action going on today. Damn. Shit. Whoa. Yeah, family, I don't even know what else to say. I don't know where to go from here. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the camera running, see if we can see some more action. And I guess I'll pick up where I left off on what I was saying about what's happening on this prison planet that we live on and shit. Damn. I mean, the car is wrecked, but I don't see nobody in the shit. I don't know if it's a stolen car. And maybe they crashed it and ran. I don't know. But he said he going to the next site, the next location. So let's see if anything else up ahead. You know, it's so funny, right, family? Life it's like a gamble, man. It's like you never know what the next day is gonna bring. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to live your life as if it's your last day on earth, because you never know. A lot of times, you know, you get up, you plan your day, you're careful driving on the road, because like when I'm driving my wife, she'll say, why you driving like that? You drive so slow. I've been driving for over 30 something years now, right? And basically, actually, yeah, about 29 years, 30 years I've been driving. And I've taken a lot of defensive driving course. I'm a truck driver, so I have to protect my license. So I take a lot of defensive driving course. So I don't just jump in my car and speed for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, fam. Let's see what's going on. I see skid marks on the road. Okay, we got the emergency fire truck on that side of the road. I don't see no accident up ahead. I don't know what's going on. But I'm looking in my rear view mirror. There's actually 2 fire trucks behind me after the car that's immediately behind me. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, man, you know, we never know what the next day is going to bring, because we don't write the script. Life is a big old play, man. We all got a part to play in this script called life. And as I told y'all before, right, we're energy, we're spiritual beings in this meat suit, trapped in this meat suit as a form of punishment, because we on a prison planet. I kid you not, we on a prison planet. That shit up in the sky that you see sometimes, you know, in the daytime, when it's clear, it looks blue. In the nighttime, it looks black, and you see the stars and shit beneath it, stationary. That's the dome, man. That's a dome. We're on a round disc, not spinning 1,000 miles an hour. This shit ain't spinning. That's a lie. Because, you know, if we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves on this motherfucker. So that's a goddamn lie. Well, there's no accident up ahead, so let me continue. So, yeah, we're not spinning 1,000 miles an hour. That's a lie. We're on a round disc with a dome over it and shit called a firmament that separates the water above from the water below. And we're here as a do-over, family. We're here as a do-over to get it right. And for those of us who get it right, you know, we move on to another dimension. You know, for those of you who don't get it right, y'all might come back here to go through that judgment, because the Most High is going to purge this prison planet. It's just like parasite and shit. You know, when you growing food, you have to burn the soil to get rid of all the pests and parasite that's on the ground that's going to, you know, eat the plants and shit that you grow. So you got to purge it. You got to burn the shit. I don't know if y'all ever seen like farmers when they growing crops. They literally set the earth on fire, the ground on fire, and purge, like burn out all the insects and shit, parasite, whatever. And that's what the Most High is going to do to this prison planet. And this prison planet is alive. Like I told y'all earlier in the video, it's alive. It's literally alive, and these devils are destroying it, cutting down the trees, taking away the oxygen and shit. You know, when we was living here initially, when we're the original inhabitants of this planet, you know what I'm saying? When we came here as a form of punishment too, you know what I'm saying? Our punishment wasn't as severe. It's not until our ancestors, when they decided, okay, to deviate from the script that the Most High gave them in order for them to continue to live, you know, apart from the Most High, but nonetheless, at least we was living in unity, peace, and security. And then he said, okay, while y'all down here and shit, don't do this, don't do that. And they went ahead and did it anyway. And then, you know, the Most High did with generational curse, so we had to suffer for our ancestors' punishment. It's the same thing that's gonna happen with them. See, they think they have gotten away with the shit, right? They have gotten away with all the mayhem, all the murder, the destruction. You ain't gonna get away from that shit. Cause see, the thing about it is this, right? I used to question the Most High, like, damn man, how long you gonna take to serve judgment and punishment? But I gotta remember something, that the Most High unseen power doesn't work and think like how we're thinking. We're minute. It's almost like a fucking ant telling you as a human being what to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't think like no ants. You know, we think like humans. And the Most High don't think like us. We can't tell God. Y'all call him God and shit. Y'all can't tell. You can't tell God what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. No, I used to do that shit, and I realized, nigga, you can't do that. And I'm gonna stop using that word, nigga, too. Well, actually, by now, I ain't gonna justify that word, because I know that word was used, and you know, to demean us and shit. But of the truth be told, you know, the word nigga really means black with one G though, not the double G and shit ER. You know what I'm saying? It really means black, because it's actually in the Bible, but it's pronounced Niger. But anyway, yeah. So we can't tell the Most High what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. No, we cannot. You know what I mean? So I guess in due season he will prevail. He will carry out the judgment. And I think why he's doing it the way he's doing it, you know what I'm saying, initiating the judgment at this pace, is because he wants them to feel it. It's almost like, you know, like let's say somebody go out there and do a mass murder, right? And they give them the death penalty and shit. Notice they don't put them to death right away after they're found guilty. They let them go on death row to experience. And sometimes they be on death row for years. Because I never figured it out. I mean, I never understood, I should say. I figured it out now, but I never understood, like, why the fuck, if you convicted, found guilty, got proof that you commit the crime, you on death row, carry out the judgment. Because I believe in an eye for eye. I do. I believe in a life for a life. I'm not like y'all, so why y'all don't support the death. I don't support the death penalty when it comes to black people, because a lot of us is on death row innocent and shit. Innocent of the charges, but we on death row because that's what they do. So if it's proven, like literally, like without any question, that you committed a murder, I believe you should be put to death. The same way, if somebody commit murder against one of my family members, I believe they should be put to death. I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't care what entitlement you think you have, because you have a credential. Let me just put it that way, a credential that makes you feel you exempt from the Old Testament law, which is a life for a life. If you unjustly take one of my family members' life, or if you try to take my life and I'm able to survive, believe me, you are marked for death. I don't give a fuck, because see, y'all say y'all are Bible-fearing Christians and y'all believe in the whole volume of the book, but yet still y'all forget the part that says a life for a life, an eye for an eye. I don't. I love that part in the Bible. So yes, these demons have came out of the caves, family, to wreak havoc on this earth, and payback is coming, and they just don't understand that it's already here. And a lot of them are going through it. So yes, I like the fact that when they sentence you to death and shit, they put you on death row and take away privilege. It's almost like you got to live every fucking day up until that point, knowing that one day your ass is gonna be gone. A lot of them go find religion and shit, go find God, Allah, or wherever. That shit ain't gonna save your ass. You still gonna be put to death. And I believe personally, all that shit about, all you have to do is just ask in your last breath for forgiveness. Nah, nigga, it don't work. It's not that simple. You can't just commit atrocity against the Most High, knowingly doing shit that offends the Most High, the law that the Most High, thou shalt not kill. Nah, thou shalt not murder. That's what it should have said. And you going around murdering people, think that the last minute on your deathbed, like that bitch that lied on Emmett Till, that old fucking wrinkled up bitch that lied on Emmett Till, right? She think because she confessed that, that she lied, that she gonna go to heaven and meet God. You gonna go to heaven and meet God, but it ain't gonna be the God you think, you fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get yours. I'm telling you, there's so much things I want to say sometimes, fam, but I can't because I know, this channel is sensitive and gotta be careful. But it's a lot of stuff, family, man. Y'all just don't know, man. Y'all just don't understand who Trendsetter is. I told y'all before, right? And I know this is like a rant video and shit, that if you was to see or know how powerful we are, black people, we are the sun people. I'm telling you, if you was to realize the power that we have within us, and they have given us poison to take, the food that you eat suppresses the third eye. And I know y'all want to hear about the pineal gland because they tell you, the pineal gland, when you're there with the pineal gland, is evil. Let me tell you something. I don't go fucking with it like that, but I do know that if you actually take care of your shit, if your shit is not, calcified and it's literally operating, maybe not 100% for capacity, but it's operating enough, you're going to see things, you're going to look at things totally different. It's like the veil gonna be lifted from your eyes. And that's why the Most High have given us the dietary law, like don't eat crab, shrimp, lobster, pork, shit that defiles the body. Because the Most High in Leviticus, I believe it is 15 if I'm not mistaken, gave us what we should eat and what we should not eat. And then I was talking to a lady the other day, and she was telling me she don't eat crabs, but she eat pork. And I'm like, well, you're not supposed to eat that either. And I said, I get it, right? I said, I get it. Oh, you're a Christian? She said, yep. And she quoted to me. She said, well, Paul said, it's not what comes out of your, not what you put in your body defiles you, is what comes out. So I said, so in other words, it's okay to eat pork as long as you bless it, right? So I had to tell her what the vision of Peter was, explaining to her that it wasn't dealing with food, it was actually meant, it was just a vision. It wasn't actually actual, it wasn't an actual event, it was a vision or a dream or whatever the fuck he had, and he was basically instructed not to call anything common. In other words, the Most High said, kill Peter and eat, right? In other words, whatever the Most High bless, you're not supposed to call it defiled. Because let's say, for example, if the Most High sanction us to eat or tell us it's okay to eat lamb, right? And you go to a store, of a heathen that sells lamb. Now, we know these motherfuckers eat all different type of animals, right? And a lot of times, you be like, well, I'm not going to eat that shit because it's not kosher because it's right next to pork. You can eat the lamb next to the pork. Just just pray over shit. Bless it because, wash it, clean it, and bless it. Ask the Most High for, to put forth his blessing over this food, and then you can eat it. But it's still still a food that the Most High sanctioned us to eat or allowed us to eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the vision was about. And it wasn't even about food. It was actually, he was supposed to be meeting some other individuals, some non-Hebrews, and he didn't want to fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to deal with them, and the Most High said, don't do that because, I instruct you to go and meet with them, and if I tell you to do something, do it. And that was the vision was about. So in other words, the Most High told Peter, as much as you wouldn't want to eat this meat that I sanctioned you to eat because it was coming from the heathen, it wasn't kosher, you better eat the shit. Go kill and eat. So that will, if you believe the story, of course, because me, I don't rock with the New Testament. The New Testament, I believe, was plagiarized from the Old Testament. The Old Testament was plagiarized from the original records. Okay, the Bible itself was plagiarized from our original records. I told y'all that already. So when they tell you, oh, don't deal with the pineal glands and don't deal with the third eye, man, get the fuck out of here. Listen, I wouldn't tell you to try to tap into this shit. Don't do it because we don't understand The third eye. The third eye is powerful. That's where the spiritual essence comes from. That's where I get my insight from, family, because I don't go meditating and, you know, opening up myself, like, you know how they say meditate and clear your mind. No, you don't want to do that shit. Because when you clear your mind and open up yourself, you open up yourself to possession. You know, people talk about astral projecting and all that. I don't do that. I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying, let's just put it this way. I'm not going to do something that I've never done before, that I have no understanding of. You know what I'm saying? Nope, I'm not fucking with it. Just like now, I don't call upon God. I don't worship God because I know who God is. God is actually Satan, the God of this world. Okay? I pray to the Most High, and I don't worship any gods. I know I say sometimes I worship, but I don't. I really don't worship nobody, because how do you worship a God when there's so many different gods and so many different ways of worshiping this particular deity, right? If whoever this God is, I don't know how the Most High want me to worship him. I'm not going to use the Bible way of doing it, because the Bible, I know for a fact, was infiltrated by the so-called white man. And their God and our God is not the same God. Okay? Believe it or not, it's not. Their God say you can eat in remembrance of him, to eat of his body and drink of his blood. That's cannibalism. That's witchcraft right there. So I'm not going to do that. So what I've allowed myself to do, I eat right. You know what I'm saying? I do meditate, not clearing myself and shit out for no possession. I just, like I said, I just focus on unseen power. Focus on the 10 Commandments, which makes a lot of sense to me. Focus on eating right. And sometimes I would just close my eyes and picture who the Most High is, the Heavenly Father, my Creator, and just hope that, you know, he would one day just send forth information. And he does. He literally speaks to my spirit. I don't hear from him physically. I don't want to hear from him either, because that means I'm hearing voices and shit. I might be crazy. And he would show me visions. I kid you not, he would show me visions. And I remember, like I told y'all the story a while back, man, I seen my spirit manifest itself. And it wasn't just my spirit. It was another spirit with me. It was like three life force I seen. I can't really explain what it looked like. It's almost like, you saw my beard? You see my beard and Avatar? That's what my spirit kind of looked like. That came out of me. Shit, how do you know that's not my real spirit that you're looking at? Yeah, think about it. But yeah, family, I know what I look like on the inside. I really do. And that's why I don't fear no man. I don't fear death. I don't give a fuck about this meat suit. This meat suit is holding me back, because I know what I'm capable of doing, family. I'm telling you, it sounds crazy. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. This nigga trying to say it's crazy. No, I'm not. I'm not crazy. I'm aware. I'm fully aware of who I am. And this is why I tell y'all, family, if we was to come together on one commonality, right? Just come together, unite, and just decide, you know, we're going to stop hating one another, killing one another, selling drugs to one another, and unite as a people. Whether you be from Africa or wherever you are, we, the melanated people, the sun people, get together, right? And I'm not talking about worshiping no motherfucking sun. I'm talking about we actually absorb the sun. I'm telling you, fam, man, damn, I wish I could tell y'all some stuff, but I can't. I really can't. But just take it for what it's worth, right? We are a peculiar people, right? We are a peculiar people. We are different. We are set apart people. We are different than the other nation on this planet. Trust me when I tell you. Okay? Embrace your so-called blackness. If you're from the continent of Africa, the darker you are, the more melanated you are, the more of a human being you are. Okay? They like to bring forth separation. A lot of the times, you know, African Americans, we're not like the Hamites, and we're not. I mean, we're different to a degree, but at the same time, at the same token, basically, we are the same. You know what I'm saying? Different, but the same. You feel me? It's just like Europeans, right? You have one come from Germany, one come from Russia. They may not have the same nationality or the same background, but they're the same species, same like us. It's just that the Most High decided he's going to choose from amongst the family of the earth a certain people. Why? Because maybe these people are more obedient, or more spiritual, I should say, to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, or only serve one power, which is him. You know, it's almost like you got fucking. I'm about to end this video, family. Like you got 10 kids, right? And nah, well, that's too many. 5 kids, and out of the 5 kids, you have 2 kids that's more obedient. Out of the 5, they would listen and shit. They would do what they're supposed to do, and you just take favor towards those 2 kids. It's the same thing. The Most High took favor towards us because He know at the end of the day, all He gotta do is make His presence be known and shit, and we get scared and start following His instruction. But the other nations, nah, they don't give a fuck. With all the writing on the wall and shit, with all the signs of the time, they don't care. They still doing what they want to do. Disobedient as fuck. But anyway, fam, with that, I gotta go. Shalom. I told y'all that this video might be longer than usual, but I gotta go. Shalom.